And now the Yorkist right wing, led by Hastings, is trying an attack. It's the first full-scale attack initiative the Yorkists have attempted, division by division, to take the war to the enemy for the first time.
Engaging there with good, fast pace. A nice steady war, then up the energy right at the very end. Somerset still leading from the rear there. True man of bravery and honour.
One at the back. One in the back. With the red, yes, with the black, that's it. That's amazing.
I can also see the young Duke of Lancaster, also at the rear of his men.
Those of you on the left and the right sides of the line, with the armies not right carrying water to be administered to the troops when they pull back from the clashes and stop them dehydrating. This is, today as then, an absolutely
14-15 feet out from the gun. Even though, clearly, we're firing blanks, you still don't stand in front of a local gun, ever.
Those of you in the centre will see a few minutes ago that the Dukes of Gloucester and Somerset actually came face to face and punched each other with their mailed gauntlets about the head. Just for a few minutes, those royal third cousins came within killing range. But the moment has been lost, and right along the line, the two armies are separating off. Once again, exhaustion is ending a conflict, with neither side having broken. Once again, the generals of each division stand out in front of their men or behind them, rally them, brief them, encourage them, try and work out how to improve on the lost performance when they attack or defend again.
And Richard, Duke of Gloucester's men taking a knee there, maybe receiving a blessing.
Now this looks like prayer to me.
Yes, I agree.
Kneeling with the banner and the sword, suddenly between the two forces.
This is one of the gentlemen who's just praying. Maybe this is a tactic or a ploy. There appears to be other single conflicts breaking out towards the centre of the field as well.
Yes, both sides are sending out their picked champions now. And ladies and gentlemen, these are actual combats. There's no determination in advance who's going to win. And the people who engage on them are the best swordsmen, the best people equipped with the polearm.
I think he's dead.
It's taken only a few minutes, but already a dozen men have bit the dust in those single combats.
So the dead and the walking wounded being dragged off, helped off.
Lancaster has decided that it's time to hit with everything it's got. On the far side, Hastings and Devon are at each other's throats again. In the centre, the Prince of Wales and the King are leading in their picked troops. And closest to us, it's Somerset slamming into Richard of Gloucester's unit once more.
Some of the Beauforts there with the portcullis, they are just committing, charging in full speed ahead.
Have you seen they're trying to place?
As you can see, there's an awful lot of confusion, there's an awful lot of turmoil here. The guys in the front are fighting, the one man behind them are fighting.
The armies disappear.
Somerset there, blessing one of his men. and down the field you can see the King, you can see the Prince of Wales, you can see the various heads of the blocks are speaking with their men.
After so much bloodshed, they'll manage to reach an understanding of some kind. Surrender, safe
No, perhaps not.
Yes, the princes just kneed Edward in the stomach and punched him on the nose. And they're getting their swords. And right in the centre, they're going back into single combat against each other. And they're doing pretty well.
Because it's swords, they can't hold them, so they have to play fight with each other.
The white plumes nodding on the helmets of each. The swords clattering against the sides of the plate armour. I mentioned that swords aren't terribly good weapons for getting through plate armour, and they're not. But both men are doing really well. There's a really skilled swordsman. You'd never have thought it of the young prince, but he's holding his own against a battle-hardened king.
He's been in training since he was a very, very young man. His mother, as we said, is very, very ambitious. She isn't known as the she-wolf of France for nothing. So she'd have made sure that her young son has been trained in the martial arts, in the arts of war, since he could walk. Oh, and the king's bodyguard now, and the prince's bodyguard coming in.
Yes, both armies in the centre are now joining battle to rescue their royalty. The gunners of Richard of Gloucester fire against Lancaster. Both armies are surging forward to meet each other again.
Somerset leading his men. From the rear again, nice straight line there.
That was a really good video, I've got that entire fight.
First, leading his men absolutely from the front. No concern for his own life, no concern for his own safety. Lancaster.
Somerset's men are breaking right through the centre of Richard's. They
And
formed the
Somerset's
wedge.
running away.
Yes!
He's running away.
I thought what they were doing was breaking the enemy, instead of which they've just broken through and now they're legging it over the horizon for Tewkesbury. This is the turning point of the battle. The Duke of Somerset is simply assailing his own skill. He's worked out that having killed Wenlock, his side is unlikely to win anything, and he's simply getting away with such men as he can take, thereby leaving Richard of Gloucester, not believing his amazing luck, to rally his men and close in upon the flank of the Lancastrian army as soon as he is able to do so. The army of Lancaster is breaking into pieces. It's right to occupy the ground that Somerset once had and try and bring out together. They know from the example of what's happened elsewhere that if they run, they're going to be slaughtered. If they hold together, they might fight their way out and survive. And the Yorkist Royal Guard are regrouping there on the right to block their way and to trap them. Across the rest of the field, the army of York is victorious. 2/3 of the Lancastrian army is now gone or run. And it's the French who are leading forward their best troops to form a pile-driving attack against Edward's.
He and his men are playing
Oh, one of
sanctuary.
them's just changed sides.
What history tells us is due to a clerical error, or due to something
And one of them just reached down a
slightly
hand and he shook it. It's like,
dodgy, they did not give sanctuary. And 2 days later, they're dragged out, kangaroo court, and they're summarily executed. One of the less well-known historical facts is the tomb of the Duke of Somerset is actually underneath the Abbey gift shop. Absolute true fact. Each time I go in there, I sort of say a little prayer for him.
Prince. The Prince's men have fought bravely, they're just simply a massacre. There are too few of them, they're too tired. The Prince has been attacked and killed the man who attacked him. His helmet has been lost, but he has his sword. A second man-at-arms attacks him, and the prince kills him in turn. This is an astonishing feat of arms for that young man, and now he stands like a wild boar at bay. Half a dozen of Edward's men want to take him, but they're being ordered back by one of Edward's officers. It looks as if the king himself is claiming the prince as his opponent. Yes, the great last drama of the battle is about to open, as Edward himself comes forward alone to face the isolated figure of the young man, the Prince of Wales, in single combat. Edward of Lancaster is one man now against an army, but he is defiant. Edward is trying to shame him. The king is accusing the young man of not being the true son of his father, of being the result of an adulterous liaison between the Duke of Somerset and the Queen. This is slander, this is filth, but it's the kind of filth which wins political arguments. And the prince is having nothing of it. He is snarling defiance.
Answering, he's giving as good as he gets, basically. And now the words have run out, words are dried up, and it's two men in single combat, one against the other.
Earlier we saw how good they both were, evenly matched, and once again we're seeing a magnificent display of swordmanship. Edward's got in a slap with the hilt of his sword to the prince's chin. But the prince has struck Edward twice across the back of his plate armour, across the top of the tunic, that must have winded him.
Edward staggering, the prince goes into, oh!
Edward's run the prince through. The Prince of Wales is mortally wounded. The king's sword has gone deep into his midriff.
We'll be back!
There's a GoPro on top of the... There's a GoPro on top of that. I wonder if that's actually hers and she's going to keep that as video.
It's actually a camera.
That's what I said, GoPro.
Oh.
GoPro is the type of camera that it's the exact image.